Shooting the Shit with Rhonda and T. Today we are reviewing BMF, Black Mafia Family. But before we get started, D, tell them what to do.
Smack that on the button. Got to our channel.
The show starts with Pops trying to school Terry on professionalism. He telling him, how to dress, how you need to look nice to represent your company. You can't be, riding around looking like no drug dealer. Terry got the big dookie chain, BMF chain around his neck, and he gonna scare the customers away. And so Terry is driving a customer. I can't get my tongue to cooperate. Terry is driving a customer around, and the guy is like trying to tell him which way to go and how to drive. And Terry like got a short temper. It don't take much to set him off. So he's irritated with this man who was like really annoying, but he threw that man out the car, him and his luggage. I can't say I blame him. I'm not sure I would have done the same thing because he was doing way too much. Talking to him.
Yeah, because he was yelling at him, sit your ass back. I'd say it.
This is the Uber. Now,
Yeah.
So Meech and K9 are over at Dairy Queen sitting out enjoying a little twisty treat. And somebody pulls up and just starts shooting. It's a drive-by. It's a day in the life. I guess if that's the lifestyle you're going to live out here in these streets, then you should expect to get pulled up on from time to time, especially if you're going to sit outside the Dairy Queen.
I was sitting up there like, oh, the poor person that's working the window.
People that work there.
Up. I was like, oh, gosh.
And I was like, dang, this is a day in the life. Like, I guess, you heard about it, but you didn't live it. So I'm like, whoo. Because I remember people being like, you just can't go nowhere. I wasn't experiencing drive-bys, so.
I was. That was the 90s.
I was already gone, yeah. So back at the house, Mama running around there cleaning up. She's, she looked nice. So I know this lady irritates me so much, and now I know exactly what it is that bothers me about her. But she cleaning up, and why she felt like she needed to go in his guitar case, I don't know, but she did, because that had nothing to do with what she was cleaning. You know what I'm saying? But she went in his guitar case, looked under the guitar because it was tucked under there nice and neat, and found a dirty magazine, and about lost her cool. She got all flustered because he walked in on her, and she, basically started bitching about money. I gotta go get, this for our daughter, and we don't have no money for that. All you see this man do is try. I see him do is try. Now on top of his job, he's trying to work, a business. How come she don't drive? Why don't you come drive for your husband?
She could drive, and then wouldn't have to pay somebody.
Then I wouldn't have to pay somebody. But no, that's not what she does. So she's going to visit family in Cleveland.
Why she like at Wendy's? She could find something better than Wendy's.
Did I bring that up last week? That she's just
last week we was talking about we didn't understand why they were suffering and he worked for GM.
No, but
I don't understand that one.
Just works at Wendy's. So, like, if you want to help do things better, like at Wendy's ain't going. That's where the kids work.
Yeah, you in Detroit. I'm sure it's a lot of jobs in Detroit.
But he has one. He is not working. I just don't know. I was like, I'm trying to find it
for her. For her, I'm saying it's a lot of jobs. I'm sure Wendy's is not the only option.
I think she wants the Prince Charming to come sweep her off her feet, I guess. I don't know. But I'm like, what I don't understand is I can't find nothing about this man so far that I can say anything negative about. Like, he has every right to not want Meech in his house. He has every right to want Terry to do better and not get caught up in that shit. And he working. He's not working. He's not laid off. He's done nothing. He's a working man. Anyway.
And he just started this business, which is, on top of working.
I mean, if you really was trying to big him up, you'll make sure this should happen. Make the man's lunch, do something. I don't think this is the first time. Anyway, child. she over here slapping children and just being an asshole. So now she's at the mall, look like a JC Penney's or something, with her daughter because they're going to Cleveland to visit her mother for a little getaway. And she's, over there paying attention, trying to do her best to buy something. Then the little cashier then talked her into opening a credit card. So y'all are already tight with money, but you're gonna open a credit card. And once she opened that credit card and she just decided to just go shopping. Why you didn't just ask Meech for the money? You could have just went to Meech and asked him for some money and took the girl shopping. What would your husband go know?
He wouldn't have known. Well, I guess she ain't planning on paying it because she put it in her daughter's name.
But what the Lord feel about that? Like, you can't be picking what sin you're gonna be I mean, for the money, but so Terry is frustrated because his dad is the one that's really running the business. But Terry, like, you're still in high school.
You forget Terry's in high school because I never even. They said something about him being in high school. I don't know if it was this season, this episode, or last.
I did, because he said, "Don't forget, I want you to finish school."
Yeah, and I was like, "Child, Terry don't be in nobody's school
ever." And then, I mean, he's allegedly the smart one. Because he was like, he did last season. He did have like
the
teachers like trying to put him in the right position. So we know he's smart, but you're still a kid. So like, and the stuff that your father is telling you is not wrong. Like, he's giving you information on, like, don't throw the customers out the car. That's a bad idea. I get it, like in that particular instance, but he's just trying to, build a brand. And y'all are Black. So your reputation is already, gonna be looked at a certain type of way just from doing nothing. Meek showed up to the house. He going to Cleveland, child. He done walk in the house drinking out the Kool-Aid pitcher.
I'm like, Meek, that's why you ain't allowed to come. Could you come straight in?
Oh my God. Well, he's going to Cleveland with the mother, which seems odd, but he's not going because he wants to see his grandmother. He's going because he's planning on going worldwide, and he's gonna hit up Cleveland to set up shop, BMF, Black family, Black Mafia family and all. Sidekick goes to visit his mom. I'm about tired of Sidekick. How many episodes you think he got left? Are we gonna take him out or not?
Nope. Because I seen the real Sidekick, so he's still around here kicking it unless they change the story.
Well, I mean, I guess we'll see. He's visiting his mom at the hospital, and Brian shows up because Brian is pressing Sidekick to turn on Meech.
Mama said somebody handsome had dropped off them flowers. I thought it was Meech when she said somebody handsome.
It probably was. It could have been.
It wasn't. It was the cop. I was like,
well, Mama ain't all there.
I was like, Mama, no, yeah, you sick.
I remember. Oh, I can't remember what show it was. That it was one of them detective shows that my mother used to watch, and it had this black bald-headed dude on there. And when she was staying at Grandma Baxter's house, she would be watching that show, and Grandma Baxter could see the TV in the mirror. Like, somehow the mirror was set in a way where she could see this man on the TV, and she was saying that Mama had this bald-headed, dark-skinned man over there all the time. She was like, I don't know. She keeps having this bald-headed man over the house all the time.
Grandma was always looking in that window, always looking in the mirror backwards.
Right.
Yeah.
At Grandma Baxter's house?
Yeah. She was always in her bed, but she was looking through her mirror, looking back to the kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she said Mama had a bald-headed man over there. Anyway, Brian gave him 72 hours to, deliver Meech. I don't know how that's supposed to happen. Like, I don't know why he went from me. Man, you should want Meech to just go away because you've been taking money from him for a long time. I don't know why you don't think Meech getting in trouble is going to be a good thing for you, especially if you don't want to do it. But okay. I guess Sidekick's mother is in a shitty facility, so he's kind of trying to bribe him with, offering a better solution for his mother. Because when he, when we got there with him, he was complaining about the sheets not being clean and that kind of thing. But we know how that is. How with little money and Black folks don't get good health care, or poor people in general. Well, Terry shows up to Lala's job again, and we know now that Lala's an insurance lady. I thought she worked at the credit union or something, but
I
she's
thought she was
telling
at the
you
bank.
insurance. No, it's insurance, child.
Well,
There's
look.
a dead orchid there. So he must have left, but he bought two of them, one for the baby mama and one for the girl, but hers is dead.
Oh, I thought he had took the one that she didn't want and brought it to the baby mama.
Well, I thought so too, but then when he got there, there was an dead orchid sitting in her
Either way, he a bone for it.
Right. Yeah, I don't feel any better about it, but I was like, I thought he took that orchid. So, Lala's basically, she's flirting, but she's also sharing a little knowledge with him about how to talk to people, where to go. She told him like he could go down to the airport. That's where you get all the high-end clients. They went on a little shopping spree. She telling him the good snacks to, as she called refreshments, to put in the car. And that's the advantage of being with somebody who's older and, has lived a little more.
I don't know what she said. All I know was I was looking at her face and I was like, what did this girl do to her face? Her face is starting to look like them others when they do all that plastic surgery.
Well, that's where she been doing. That's where she was at over there.
But
with
it
the
is
others.
so bad.
With the ultimate others, the Kardashians. Them was her people.
It looks so bad. No, not the Kardashians. Because I don't know, I kind of feel like Chloe that went to the same people, Cynthia Bailey's sister and what's her name? K Michelle that went to.
No, I'm saying you said who is her people, and I'm like the Kardashians are. They didn't, that's where they get all the work done.
No, I said she's starting to look like the others. She's starting to look like, to me, like the old white women that had the plastic surgery, and now they're starting to look like cat women in the face. I was
it's
like,
only so much you can do.
Looks
It's
so
only
bad.
so much you can do to your face.
It looks so horrible. When
Yeah.
they were sitting up there, when she was talking, all I could see was like, what is going on?
That's why, and I would
horrible.
say, Lala's not that old. That's why the younger girls look so crazy, because they go in doing, once you do that stuff, then you got to keep doing it and maintain it.
It looks horrible. She looks horrible.
Well,
she didn't look like that on Power. I'm
Terry
like, girl.
Terry like it, girl. Terry like it, and he's even more smitten with her than he was before, because now she likes, helping him big up his money. So moms and the kids show up to Granny's house in the Benz, and they got on new clothes, and I was like, so when did it become okay to be all up in Meech's car? Only when you impressing folks. So she flossing, being fake over here with credit card.
I'm surprised the dad was okay with them driving down there with Meech.
Was he home or was he out working?
He knew he was going though.
He knew he was going. He didn't. We don't know. We don't know. He didn't say she couldn't see Meech. She just said Meech couldn't live in his house. But I know she pulled up with all them clothes and fly ass gear and a Benz and showing off like she came through there like ready to be fake. And her, she the one like with the blood of Jesus can't be seen nowhere with Meech until she need him to press her family. She's fake. She pissed me off. I don't like her. Sorry, Meech. I'm talking about your mama. The lady that plays your mama. I don't like her because she's making me mad. They said some of it is real, but some of this shit ain't. So Meech get there, his Jerry Curl cousin. I was like, these are the 80s. they go straight into discussing, you know, how to put him on, how to create work. So Meech is planning to go through, you know, the video store. His cousin works at a video store. That's actually a very good hookup. So, you know, I can see where that would work. He said we did it with the sandwich trucks over in the factory, and so the videos is probably even a better situation than the sandwich truck was. So Cuz took him out and introduced him to, you know, the street dudes in Cleveland. Meech roll up everywhere like he running stuff. Like he just coming all up. You from Detroit, nigga. You in Cleveland. Acting like you that dude.
Child.
Girl, Lamar done jumped the security guard at the hospital and jumped out the security guard.
Lamar,
And he
you
is
did
out
not
and
have
on
to
the
kill
loose.
that man. You just woke up. You didn't have to kill that man. The man wasn't doing nothing but minding his
job.
business behind the door. You didn't have to do that. You could have just knocked him out. You didn't have to kill the man, Lamar.
Y'all done let Lamar get away.
Child.
So Terry takes Lala's advice, you know, about going over to the airport and picking up rides over there. But there's a charge. There's a surcharge over there at the airport. When she was telling him that, I was like, you can't just be at the airport though. There's like different licensing and stuff you got to go through. You can't. I mean, maybe that's a state to state thing, or maybe this was like pre that. But it was a surcharge over there, and so he didn't come prepared to pay no surcharge. So he was pulling off and found some people that were going into the city to, you know, apparently the part of the town that don't nobody want to go to. So, you know, he was like, well, I ain't scared. So, of course not.
Right. And so that was a market.
People up. I mean, you know what? I'm not mad at it. His dad snubbed it because, you know, his whole thing is I don't want you in these streets. But, I mean, folks need a ride. That sucks that you can't get a ride over there because of where you live. Because people like, we don't go over there.
And I didn't like his dad didn't listen to his idea because I was like, that was a really good, smart
idea.
He
has good ideas. His dad can't always be treating him like he doesn't know anything. Plus, it's his money. So that part, I was like, Dad, I'm gonna have to veto that. If you're gonna be partners,
I'm a partner.
And that's the thing. Like, I think the best situations happen when young people and old people come together and, you know, both have something to add. Well,
and it makes sense. I mean, the people, it was white people that jumped in that car too. So they going to the
what, about 3 people jumped in the car. That's, you know, that's one trip. Anyway, Meech is over at the video store renting out deluxe editions. And it seems to be, you know, going quite smoothly. Back in the day, we don't even have video stores no more. But you know, Tariq and them is over there with lockers and barcodes. Brian pulls up on Sidekick again. This episode was kind of a filler. I feel like it was maybe like a setup for something else because there was a lot of stuff going on, but nothing really going on. Brian pulls up to Sidekick. He on the phone with Meech, so he doesn't answer the door right away. His attitude sucks when Sidekick lets him in, you know, in the door. And Sidekick basically he throws him a bone. He tells about, you know, the stash house, where it's at, who's supposed to be coming through there. And, you know, Brian takes the bait. This better be it or you're in trouble. He's so corny. He get on my nerves. Terry's still mad. He at the airport stirring shit up. So now he done made all the drivers to tell this dude, we ain't paying you nothing. So the fact that the drivers all kind of fell into place made me see that it probably isn't like a legal surcharge just yet. Maybe that's not an actual thing just yet, because they were all too willing to be like, nah, we ain't paying you. I don't know what he was writing on the people's brochures, but I did see, because when he went out with Lala, she was telling him doing that is not good for business. So I don't know what he was writing on them people's brochures.
He was scratching out their name and putting his name and phone number.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I know Lala was like, don't do that. That's not good for business. But him and
Mhm.
his dad probably don't have any brochures.
Right.
But I mean, if his mama would drive the car, maybe help out, they could get to those things much quicker, and then she could get to her, fancy life that she wants so much. But I'll do what the other limo company checked and was like, don't mess with our, brochures. But leave it to the young person to go over there, stomp his feet, and get some things done. Because everybody else was perfectly fine giving this man, money that they didn't even have to be giving him. Jay picked up this lady. She looked like a Middle Eastern or Arab, Arab or something like that. But she was very impressed with his car. And when he was taking her to her destination, he noticed there's checkpoints all over the city. What were those checkpoints for? They just checking for drugs?
Whatever.
Dang, Detroit, y'all was doing the thing, weren't you? I was living somewhere else. I didn't get that, but yeah. So I'm sure he knew that was going to cause some problems, not necessarily for him, but for Meech over there, because clearly Terry is still informed of what's going on. Although he's not in the business necessarily, he still knows what's happening. I'm not sure why that is, but when he saw them checkpoints, he went over to the record store and busted up a party that these two clowns were having. Why are they acting like they having a party and they not just standing in the store and listening to the radio dancing with each other? Terry came in there, he deboed the work and took it. They don't know who they're supposed to be reporting to and who they're not reporting to, but they were about to tell him no, so they gave him the work so he could go handle whatever business that nobody asked him to handle in the first place.
I'm like, Terry, why are you even doing that?
You're supposed to be going to the airport and back.
Right.
With your fancy chocolates and dinner mints in the dashboard. So Terry and Meech's mom, I don't know her name, Frances or something. She confides to her mother about, this is all fake and I had to buy this with credit cards. She didn't mention the part about how she opened the cards in her daughter's name. And Terry and Meech is over here selling drugs, and that's what the Mercedes, and her mother is pretty much like, you the one did that. Nobody cares about that stuff. You put yourself in that. You could have showed up here on the Greyhound and nobody would have thought anything different. But you felt like you had to get off fancy pants for what? Because nobody even cares about that.
They do that though. That's the thing. They all do that. That was the thing. My dad used to talk about that. People will go back down south, even though they were just going over to Cleveland. And people will go down south with these little cars that they
trying to act like they doing
act like it was theirs. Yeah, they doing so good. That was the thing back then.
Yeah. And now look at us all on Southwest Airline with canceled flights, trying to figure out how we gonna get from A to B.
They do it now. They just do it different. They just be on Facebook fake flossing.
You know what kills me? The people on social media with the stacks of money and the guns, and I'm like, this is a bad idea. I don't know what this picture is supposed to be.
They're checking. The jobs are checking. Like, come on.
Why would you put that? Because you're not going to be filling out no applications no time soon, so it's not something that you're worried about.
My thing is, I always see the CNAs smoking. I'm like, every CNA I know be so high. And I'm like, don't y'all got to go in there and take care of somebody's mama?
Well, then they might need one.
But so they're not doing drug tests?
Apparently not.
I guess not. Mine can't be in a nursing home. Well, I don't have to worry about that now. But yeah.
That's a positive, not having to put your parent in a nursing home. Speaking of mothers, Terry pulled up on his baby mama. He gonna surprise her with a trip to Cleveland. Girl, please stop sitting around waiting on Terry, because he's playing you so much. Because he didn't even really want to take you. he didn't want to take you to Cleveland. He wanted to take that work to deliver to Meech. That's why the trip. Otherwise, you wouldn't even went. The plan wasn't even to go to Cleveland.
Nope.
So he picks her up so he could take that work to Terry. He gonna put the work inside the cans of baby formula, which is not a bad idea, except for the part where it's a bad idea. So they hit a checkpoint. Terry is all nervous. She doesn't know what's going on, but her instinct is to go ahead on and help this man through the checkpoint. Thank goodness she did that. I'm guessing his license was valid because the dead man took his registration. So I'm guessing at some point
I was sitting up there like, this fool ain't got no license.
So he did go ahead and handle that. I'm sure his father made him show him, what's what. So they get past the checkpoint, they get to Cleveland, and Mitch ain't even happy to see him. Like, fuck out of here. The exchange is still, Mitch is still angry. Terry brings him to work. Now I'm like, didn't he hand that stuff to Mitch? So Mitch goes from the front porch to in the house. They taking things out and the cans is missing. Why? Because the mama about to feed the work to the baby. Now who allowed this to happen? How did she get her hands on that?
I was so nervous. I was like, Lord, please don't let them give this to the baby. And then I'm like, and even though he stopped it, I was like, this is still cocaine. Like, this the cocoa. So she touching
and
it.
She dumping like.
Yeah, and I'm like, the powder busting up everybody's behind. Lord.
Clearly she doesn't do that often because does it look different? Does it look like baby formula? I don't know.
I would think not.
I'm with you. Baby formula, it has a certain smell when you open the can. Baby can still smell like baby formula. I don't know what they was over there doing, child, but the baby got saved because they found out in the nick of time that the mama was finna roast the baby.
I was nervous.
So Meech thinks his little, charming speech that he's always giving, he thought that, that won the people over. But when he went over to their spot, to their little honeycomb hideout, because they all got a hideout, they take his gun because he can't go in there carrying. And then once they have him without any type of artillery, they let him know that the rules, plans have changed. They're taking a bigger cut. These ain't your streets. These is our streets. You ain't running nothing around here. So that's how that's going to go. And he couldn't even do nothing but walk away. I don't think old boy knew who he was messing with. He was messing with Pinky in the brain, and I'm going to take over the world. He's not a regular.
Mm-hmm.
So while Terry's away, Pop's hired a new driver. Now, while you worried about them daggone magazines over there under that guitar container, you need to be worried about Miss Denise sitting over here at your kitchen table about to be riding with your husband at the car service. Where he find her at? Now, he says she got laid off from the shop.
Yeah.
And that's where he worked, at the shop.
Yeah, Jim.
So maybe he's laid off?
No. He got the outfit on every day. Yeah. He working. That's why I don't know why.
I got that story confused a little bit.
Yeah, because that don't make sense.
Because both of us are GM kids, and that was not the life.
Especially not then. That's when the money was booming. All the time you wanted.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, this is one of those.
When they show next week, because are we at the end?
Almost.
Let's get to that. I'll wait. Go ahead.
Terry is irritated because, again, Pops is making decisions without him. Terry, you over here carrying weight. So that's all I have to say. But we don't want you to hire no driver. I feel like hiring the driver should definitely be left in the hands of your father. Anyway, Misha showed up to the boy in Cleveland. He showed up to his mama's house.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll teach you to keep my work. Now, what's gonna happen is you're gonna make sure I get everything I said, or we're gonna straighten the situation out here with your mama. Nobody wants to see the dope dude show up to your mama's house with heat under the kitchen table. You know who he walked himself, and he over there like little boy from Cleveland. He hanging out with people that will cut your whole face off and sit it away in a gift box. So careful with these. The cops raid the trap house. Mitch is not there, so you know they get a little dope. They get a couple guys, but Bryant did not get what he wanted. I'm not cheering for Bryant to get what he wants. So, you know, and we know how the story goes for the most part. Meech brings the money back to K9. K9 down to his honeycomb hideout. It's some loudmouth dude in there. I don't see it happening for him. I don't know why I feel like that, but I feel like we're going to see that guy again, only he won't be talking so much. Because this guy, K9, he has a problem with people that do too much talking. That's one of those things that he's not a fan of. And then he did find the guy that was shooting at them because when he ran off, he lost his shoe. Now why did K9 have that shoe? Is this dude still running around with one shoe on? Or
I don't know.
like,
Cinderella.
how did you get the shoe?
Oh no, Cinderella. I was like, did he go around trying to shoe on everybody in the hood like Cinderella to see if they fit? I don't know.
He found that dude and the shoe. Yeah, and he's marked. He's, you know, laid out on the table for Meech to see. Look what I have to show you. We found the guy.
That's how they do things. Good luck. Meech run.
Wow. Here come Ashley Larry. He didn't go to Kane to pick up Lamar. Lamar got out the hospital and called Ashley Larry, and he done passed out at the bus stop, but Ashley Larry done dragged him into the car, into the hearse, and saved Lamar's life.
Ashley Larry, of all the people, that's who y'all went from.
I love it. Ashley Larry, the weirdo that be, you know, being inappropriate with corpses over to the funeral home. That's probably a thing in real life somewhere. So Brian is at the hospital again, like literally throughout this whole episode, he's been following behind Sidekick, and Sidekick has been, what did you think of the Tevin Campbell? Tevin Campbell, what is his name? Corrupt. Did that not make a Sidekick?
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess to just thank him, you know, so to speak, for at least coming through with a little something. Brian has Sidekick's mother moved to a better facility. So they're family now. I believe that's what he heard, what he said, that they family now. That's how that is.
I don't know what that means.
Well, I don't either, but he gets over to the record store and Meech is having a conversation with everyone about communication. Everybody needs to communicate with everybody. If they're going to be missing, he needs to know. When he calls, they need to call right back. And Terry is not the boss. So if Terry comes through there barking orders, then he is not to be listened to until, of course, he is to be listened to. But I guess Meech will let them know when that's supposed to take place.
Okay.
So Pop Show comes home and Mama's standing in the bedroom with a sexy nightgown on, and she was dressed quite sexy throughout this whole episode. Now she's standing there with a gown on. He said, "Oh, you look nice." She said, "You like it?" He said, "Yeah." "Did you buy that with the credit card that you opened up in our daughter's name?" Now, yeah, is that what you bought that with? Yeah, she did. So she said she bought it so she could get his attention out of that magazine and them women he been lusting after. And he said, what did he say? At least he ain't breaking the law or something to that nature, because that's what you did. You broke the law. You're just like your daggone son over here buying.
Where he did it from?
Stuff, you know, with fraudulent credit cards, you know, opened by a 9-year-old. That can't happen. It can't be a thing. He said, you know, they're arguing back and forth. She says she tired. I don't know why she tired, because he worked just as much as she do. So I don't know why she's so tired. She says she's doing everything. Yeah, okay. What are you for? Anyway, they're arguing back and forth, but she claiming she tired. She tired, he tired, they all tired. He said, he's tired too. And he said he remembered when she used to like him as much as he liked her. And I was like, I felt that like last week when she was sitting in that in that restaurant. I was like, you're sitting in a restaurant because your hardworking husband has taken time out of his day. They weren't at Wendy's, I don't think. Your hardworking husband came to take you on a little lunch date in the middle of the day. Now, I don't know how many wives are getting that, but I feel like you're being real unappreciative. You know what I'm saying?
Where was they at? Was they at Wendy's?
They were not. They were
So
just
okay,
like
so
in
they
some
wouldn't.
little place, you know, you heard
Okay.
of Wendy's, you know what I'm saying? I was like, your husband in the middle of the day came and took you on a quick little lunch date. You know what I'm saying? You can't like give this man credit for nothing. What else is he supposed to be doing? He sat there and brought you to lunch and you sat there gazing at another couple like we just I hate my life. I hate this nigga.
And she can't
That's what
tell
she,
nothing about that couple. She don't know what that couple was going through.
we don't
That
know.
could have been somebody's husband,
Not the-
somebody else's wife. She ain't know.
That's what I was gonna say. Lunch dates is usually for the side chick. He taking it. Child. That's why I like that lady, because she just don't make sense to me. I felt so bad for him. So the show ends with Meech taking Terry. Meech taking, was it Meech? Meech was there at the movie theater, I guess, waiting on Terry.
Meech, remember Meech said he was buying out the movie theater for all the kids can go see Coming to America.
Okay. So he's standing there and Terry showed up with the little sister and they get to fighting in the movie theater because Terry think he still can come be a part of the organization whenever he feel like it. And you know, and I agree with Meech. Are you in or are you out? What are you trying to do? And if you're gonna be in, you darn sure ain't gonna be able to use the car service. But I have a feeling you gonna do that, and your daddy gonna have to kick your ass off the thing too. Now I don't know the details, but I just see it coming that Terry gonna be trying to move weight in that doggone car service. I just see it coming. But you was going to say something about next week. What did you say, Steve, for next week?
So I don't know, maybe I saw it wrong. But now that you say he gonna be
moving
weight in the car service, didn't old girl seem like she was down with the drug gang, that the one that they hired? It looked like she finna be down with the getting
maybe I didn't catch that, but I mean she laid off, child.
No, it seemed like she was down with it. She said something like, we got to get them back or something. Like she was down. I was like, oh, you didn't hire the thug.
Well, maybe the dad is not as good as
She worked in the shop. I mean, why was she laid off? Y'all know she laid off. I know, child. You know, people was like on drugs and going to rehab and getting right back up in there. There was a whole lot of folks up in there.
I remember your mother used to be like, I don't know what kind of parts these is gonna be, but the way they be in that shop. Well, I guess we'll see. Because the thing is, it's a true story. But I prefer not to go find out what really happened until after I watch, the show.
What it was is that I had been watching, you know, they be showing the little stuff on
the
TV.
documentary thing, yeah.
But not on them, because old girl that Lala is playing. She had her own little thing, so I was seeing little stuff before they even did the TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got inside information.
I
haven't listened to any of those, but that's it, y'all. So next week we're gonna see, like,
I think she down.
Is Terry back in or is Terry out? I think he's back in. So let's don't waste any more time pretending like he's gonna drive around.
Yeah.
And girl, little Terry's baby mama, go back where you was. Cause he out here fool our line for real.
He finna be with this girl anyway. He ain't did right.
No. All right, so where's D?
D, you gonna close us out? You ain't seeing what I'm seeing. Okay. Go ahead and tell them what you want to do.
Smack that thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.
All right, y'all. See you on the next one.